Universal had a shot in 1995, 1997 to make it, and all of the reasons, they had output deals that wouldn't allow for black and white and blah, blah. I get why they don't appeal to everybody. This is a very niche concern, like credit, good heavens. Which is really kind of the reasons why I never wanted the movie to be about the credit arbitration, because it's not of any interest. And
no, it's like a so much more resonant, interesting. I think, maybe because I do identify with it more, it seemed universal to me, but I think it is very universal. And yes, it's certainly specific. And I can imagine, having a hard time making an argument to a studio who plans to release a movie theatrically that you're going to have a big weekend with a black and white movie about the making of Citizen Kane. I mean, there's this big debate about streamers versus theatrical, blah, blah, blah. And I would point to this movie as the prime example of what is great about a Netflix, which is that they'll make it, and that's that. I don't know that this movie gets made at Warner's or at.
No, I'm sure it doesn't. I have 25 years of the surety that it doesn't.
Do you care about people seeing it in a theater? Do you want people to see your movie on a big screen?
I would love people to see it, but let's be honest. More people have seen Seven on VHS than saw it.
I had an S video connection from.
Okay.
Yeah. 400 DPI.
But it's look, I would love everyone to see everything in 4K.
Oh yeah, how you doing? This is Corey Hunter, and we're back. Here we have David Fincher and Ben Affleck as they speak about the film Mank. In this, he talks about how he's able to get his movie made. That's interesting. It's interesting because the kind of movie that Mank isn't a blockbuster. It doesn't feel like a blockbuster. It don't feel like a thriller. It's just a good movie. But now we have to ask our question, why make this movie? And people usually say, oh man, if you have something to say, then you can make a movie. Like, the only real rule that anybody really become really aggressive about is making a movie for the sake of making a movie. No one really gets behind that. But a lot of people say, look man, if you have a voice, if you have something to say, then maybe you need to make this movie. But, a lot of studios don't feel the same. A lot of studios just trying to make money, and that's really what this conversation is bringing to light, is that your movie have to be profitable. As beautiful as art is, it is also a business. And filmmaking is an unusual business because it merges so many skills together. Filmmaking isn't just art. It isn't just business. It isn't just engineering. It isn't just a one man's game. Filmmaking is a collaboration of so many things. And one of those things is to be profitable. So when he speak about Mank, he was talking about how a lot of major studios just turned it down years ago. Over a decade ago. And he also talks about the beauty of Netflix, a streaming service, a streaming giant that gave him the ability and opportunity to create this movie. And now we got to think about why Netflix would make this movie and why not a major studio. And it's real obvious. And like I said, the goal is different. You want to make your money back. So you give $1 million to create a movie, and now you want to give it a theatrical run. You want to make that money back. That's why opening weekend numbers is such a big deal, because it's letting you know, oh, okay, we made our money back in 2 days. That's beautiful. And now we're going to let this movie rock out for like another month or two. We're just going to keep on racking in money. Now everybody's getting paid now. You get me? This was a bright investment. That's wherever we took L's at, wherever we took losses at, this is making up for that. And it's just profit. Profit is always beautiful. But that's not the goal with Netflix. Netflix isn't making a movie to throw into theaters. They're a subscription-based business. So they're creating content to get new subscribers, to keep the subscribers that they have. That's why they're able to make these niche films. You got major filmmakers who's telling personal stories now, creating movies that they usually wouldn't make because they can, because Netflix created a place where these stories is valued. Before, it's like, all right, how can we profit? How much money do you need, and how much money can we project for this movie? I can't give you $100 million for something that we think is only gonna make 50 million, because this isn't all about the art. You get me? We need to make something that's profitable, and I can't give you $100 million for something that's just gonna make $100 million. We have to make profit. Netflix, on the other hand, is saying, look, this movie that you created, we have a place for it. And mind you, there's a lot of details that I'm just leaving out, but pretty much what they're saying is, you're a director with a fan base and a great name. This place serves you. Your fans can come here and watch your film. And this is why I always respected, man, Kevin Smith. Kevin Smith does whatever he want to do. And that's a big deal, man. Kevin Smith said, look, man, I had this idea and I really wanted to make this movie, so I made this movie. I respect that. You know what I'm saying? Not a lot of filmmakers can do that because you have to follow the money. In a lot of ways, you have to follow the money so you get paid, because who don't want to be paid? Money makes life nice, man. Money makes life easier. We all need money. And it's not always materialistic, man. You need money to live, all right? And filmmakers sacrifice so much that by the time they're able to create money, they want to reap the benefits of their struggles, of all the obstacles that they overcame, and rightfully so. And that's why theaters is filled with blockbusters. That's why franchises is such a big deal. What a franchise is a proven model. What they're saying is, oh, okay, we're gonna try with this movie, all right? And if this movie pop, we know this is something that people want. This is something that people is guaranteed to come to the theaters to watch. So once this one movie pop, people want to see 2, and they want to see 3 and 4 and 5, whatever. Give it to them, because we know they're gonna watch it. So yeah, we could get 20 Marvel movies. Why? Because the moment we we slam the logo Marvel on it, people's gonna go watch it. And mind you, that's not nothing bad, because they also understand that Marvel is a brand in itself, and it has to upkeep a certain standard. So you're not just going to watch any movie and they just slap Marvel in it. What they're saying is, okay, this movie can make money. Now we have to create a product that's worthy of the brand that we so carefully created. So they are mindful of that. But with that said, man, for like the filmmakers who's coming out here, who have ideas and such, there are places which probably didn't exist like a decade before, because even Netflix a decade before now probably wasn't that place. Netflix a decade ago isn't Netflix now, and a decade before that there was no Netflix. So there's a place for it now. And the same will go for like YouTube and all these other streaming services. There's places where we can tell more intimate stories. So that just brings us right back to where we started at, man. What movie is worth making? A movie where you have something to communicate. Yeah, man. Once you have something you want to say, create it, because there exists a place for it now, as opposed to before. So yeah, man, that's where I'm at, man. I just wanted to, chop it up with you, spend some time with you. Appreciate you spending time with me. Don't forget to subscribe, share, and like. And speak to me in the comments, whatever your ideas are. And yeah, man, until next time.